Hi, everybody. I'm so excited today because I'm going to be introducing you to one of our Haylen agents who's been with Haylen for a long time, for the past 8 years now. So we actually work with a lot of first-time home buyers. We go meet with a lot of them. Actually, probably most of our clients are first-time home buyers.
I would say at least 90%.
Yeah, 90%.
And maybe at least 50 to 60% of them are actually relocate from another country to the United States.
I agree. And so what do you think that one of the biggest question they have when they come to us and then start asking, like, okay, I want to buy a home, but I don't really know what to do. What is the most common question?
So very importantly as we all go through all this multiple offers housing market, it's very important that our buyers get a pre-approval, and not only pre-approval, but also going through a more very thorough underwriting process. So a lot of first-time home buyers does not know the difference between pre-qualification or what is pre-approval, what's the difference, and as well as they didn't know that the visa that they're holding, there actually makes a huge difference on who they can actually to do financing with.
I agree, and then and sometimes they don't even know which area they should be looking at because they just know that, okay, I'm going to be working in Cupertino or I'm going to be working in Sunnyvale. I'm just going to look for homes over here that's close by, and not understanding. Actually, they started asking, is that how come the home over here, which is in Sunnyvale still, and then another townhouse maybe, and the pricing is like so similar, even though one is single family, one is townhouse. How do you go about that?
So I think that's the biggest impact to our housing prices here in Silicon Valley is the school district. A lot of people does not know what school has ranking, or actually it makes such a huge difference in here. As a matter of fact, actually that's what it affects all the prices. In some other countries, the school does not weight as much, even though it is important to look at. But in here, it makes a huge difference.
I know. It's like we have incidents. So when we do an analysis, we always tell them that, look, you have to look at different the homes that goes to different schools. Sometimes it could be one is like ranking 10, and then 2 blocks down is like ranking 3, completely different. So the valuation would be very different. So sometimes we have to really make sure that if school district is a very important factor for them, then we have to identify certain pockets of that city.
And sometimes there are so many different school ranking websites that give you different types of ranking as well. So it's very important to actually guide them where to look to get a more accurate answer.
That's true. It's like they ask us like, oh, I thought this is rank 10, and then over there is rank 8. Which one do you look at?
And how to verify to make sure it does go to that school, because a lot of real estate websites, sometimes they just give you what is the closest school to this address, but not necessarily it is the school where it goes to.
And also when they're looking for a home besides the school districts, what else, like in terms of location, what else do they need to pay attention to?
So the first thing where before I even walk inside into a house is that I always guide my clients look at the street, look at what surrounds this house. Of course, you don't want to be close to freeway or high voltage towers, that sort of thing. Sometimes people get so excited, they just like, wow, I see all the pictures, they look so nice, and just walk right into it and never pay attention to the outside until they actually got into contract.
That is so true. I remember one specific client that we were talking to them, and you pointed out, hey, there's like a stop sign right in front of the house, and then over there's like a bus stop or something. They're like, well, I didn't even pay attention to that because the house was actually decorated and staged really nicely.
And sometimes when we go, especially go open houses on the weekend, there aren't that many traffic to experience the noise and stuff like that. So it is very important that the clients also maybe have a revisit even outside the home area at night or during a weekday morning, so that to get a sense of how the area is really actually be.
And a lot of comments from our clients is that you probably tell them more no's than yes. It's like our clients would be more excited than her, and then she's like, no, don't consider this one. I don't think this is a good one.
Well, it's so funny because I never thought of being a realtor in the first place. And then when I first being a realtor, I have a very scary thought that my clients will actually come back to me like, hey, Susanna, why did you suggest me to buy this house? So I would be really scared, like, and I would feel really bad. And my client's like, what do? I really don't like this house, Susanna. So in a sense that when I first, choose or give comments to the house with our clients, I would give them my honest opinion, so that at least they will not regret, or at least the worst opinion has already brought up to them in the first place. Yeah. So they're not afraid of seeing the rest of it.
Yeah, because they always ask, it's like, so what do you think? What do you think? I remember in one of my clients before, she said that, gosh, I feel like you guys are so different because most of the agents that we work with, everything is good. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Just buy it. So I think we really pride ourselves for the fact that we just don't tell you, we're not selling you the house. We really want to make sure that this is a future home that you're going to be happy, your family's going to have a good memory with.
Yeah, if the house is good, it sells, it sells. We don't have to say anything about the house.
Well, just like today. you saw this one house,
you're like, oh. Yeah, so so I'll give true opinions to my clients, and as well as if there are any fixing or repairings that I find from disclosures, I'll definitely also give them an estimation, just to give them expectation when they put in the offer. They can also include those big repair items.
Yeah, that speaking of disclosures, I mean, that is probably one of the scariest thing when clients see that whole stack of disclosure files. They don't even know where to start. And then of course we go through all of that pretty much at every single item so that they understand what they're buying before they, and they truly appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, I remember this is actually the one thing that I find most lost when I first buy a home in the United States, when I first move here, because I have no idea what they are. And I don't know what should I look for within the disclosures. The agent just throws me a bunch of documents and I'm like, so I'm supposed to read them all? Like, yeah, read them all. Well, good thing that when I purchased a home here, like we were able to have all sorts of contingencies to include in the transaction. So I have a lot of time, but still, I don't know what to look for. And even inspectors, I have to look for all the inspectors myself.
Oh, really?
Yep. So I'm glad I actually had that learning process, because I know how it feels like when you're a first-time home buyer in the United States. So that's how I will always remind myself that these first-time home buyers will be the same situation as me when I first came here, and I don't want them to buy just blindly because everybody just want to fight for that house. So yes, we are doing actually a lot more homework before we even prepare you for an offer that we don't know will get accepted or not. But it's definitely worth it for the peace of mind that when you submit an offer, a strong offer, you have to read through everything. And I will be happy to actually guide you through because this is so important. A house is a biggest asset, I would say, for many people. So I don't want you to regret.
And especially because sometimes, the past few years, there have been multiple offer situation. And I mean, multiple offers, not just like 2 or 3, is talking about like 10, 15 people. So we are competing against like people who are like, okay, we're just not going to put any contingencies in there. But still, for us, once we go through the disclosure package, if there are certain items, for example, if the inspection item is talking about there's foundation issues, and then there's no foundation report, we're not going to tell the clients to say, put in a no contingency offer, right?
Yeah, even you expect that, I can tell you almost a lot of things are repairable. However, there's a price for everything. And of course, there's time and effort and everything. And there are so many people who are, engineers and stuff are working in the Silicon Valley. It's so hard for them to actually put that time and effort out to even, deal with this repairing. So it's not only about the price. Sometimes it's about if you're ready to actually take on with all those repair work as well.
And absolutely, I totally agree. And some of our clients, especially if they have little kids, they have jobs, like very high demanding jobs over here, they don't really have the time to handle all of that. That's right. So at the end of the day, it's like if you have budgeted the money
Mm-hmm.
for the remodeling and also the time, because time is probably the hardest part for most people because it's not an easy task when it comes
No.
down to remodeling.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, in terms of talking about the offers and the contingencies, what else do you think that a client needs to pay attention to when they make an offer?
So besides the disclosures in repairs that we need to pay attention to, the pricing is also very important because when you make an offer, what if you made an offer price? Yes, very attractive to the seller, but what if it doesn't come in at the appraisal time? Your lender can only lend you 80% of what the appraisal value is. For the difference between your offer price and the appraisal value, you will have to make up the difference. So that could be a very huge matter to a lot of buyers who are only making 20% down payment. So Helen, you want to give some suggestion on how you actually come up with the value of the house?
Yeah, so that's the part of how we split the work, right? She a lot of times she goes through the whole disclosures, and then I will look at the numbers. And when we do the analysis, a lot of times we compare the homes. We talked about the school district that can make a difference, and then we look at a lot of different the condition of the property, and then we have to compare the best comparable in the neighborhood in order to come up with a number. Now that number is we try to match what the appraiser will use and then what the appraiser will appraise at as closely as possible, and then give our clients an idea. So if they decide that they're not going to have appraisal contingency and they still want to bid above and beyond the value that we give to the property, at least they have this, they're prepared to pay for that difference, because not every single client has that extra reserve in the bank account to pay for the difference. So that is super important. And it really makes a difference because a lot of times buying your own home, it gets very emotional, right?
Yes.
So when you see that spreadsheet, you see our analysis, we tell you like this is the max you should put in. If go above that, you can only, let's say you can only put in a $20,000 difference, then you know, okay, I cannot go beyond this price. And we always afterwards we always try to meet with the appraiser and also show them what this property, the feature of this property, and let them understand like how we come up with our value as well. And we talked a little bit about like some of our clients are relocating from overseas or from another states, and actually not from another state, but overseas from another country. So they may not be a green card holder, like not a U.S. resident, not a U.S. citizen. So when it comes down to pre-approval on those situations, I know you want to talk a little bit about how to guide them through.
Yeah, so it's very important to know what type of visa our clients are holding, and when it actually expires as well, because it can actually have a great impact on their pre-approval and who they can use. Because there are some lenders, they just don't take a particular type of visa, but some do. So that would actually help them shorten a lot of the shopping with bankers process.
Yeah, it's for example, we have some banks that we know they don't allow overseas money. At one point, the guidelines keep changing
all the time.
Yeah, and then some banks is like, yes, we will take H-1B visa, but not OPT, and then there are just so many different guidelines. So we always have to ask the clients, okay, what is your situation?
Right.
Or some of them don't even have enough credit history. That is probably the really tough part when you don't have enough credit history.
So we're trying to actually keep update with our lenders network so that we can always get the newest, regulation updates from different lenders, so that we know which ones are more appropriate with meeting with which lender and process quickly.
Yeah, I think we are quite fortunate that we have like a group of or network of really good lenders and brokers to work with. So whenever we have questions, we're just like, okay, we cannot figure this out. Can you help us with that? Yeah,
that's very important. Sometimes we even have like last minute changes that we need to, but it happens. Then we just have to help find the right one in a very short period of time.
Today, I'm just so excited that you get to meet Susanna, and thank you so much for being here. And I hope if you guys have any questions, if you have any questions about the home buying process, feel free to give us a call. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching our YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like our videos, make some comments, because we're going to keep you posted on the most updated
real estate news, housing market data, and also real estate tips and advice from all over the real estate industry. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.